I started being too busy every time my brother called. My brother Daniel spent last month desperately trying to reach me. For the first time in his life, I wasn't answering. Daniel had this talent for being busy whenever I needed him. When my car broke down on the highway in a snowstorm, I called him knowing he lived 10 minutes away. I could hear music and laughter when he picked up. Sorry, he said, with friends, can't make it. I sat there freezing for 2 hours while he partied down the road. When my basement flooded, he had plans. But when Daniel needed something, he'd call at midnight demanding rides from bars. He'd show up with his dog expecting me to watch it for a week. I helped him move 3 times. His emergencies meant I dropped everything. Mine were always bad timing. But last month, something changed. Daniel's frantic attempts to reach me, that was him finally understanding what busy really means. My wife watched me hang up after Daniel said he couldn't help move our washer. She set down her coffee and gave me this look like she'd just solved everything. Stop helping him, she said. Be too busy every time. See how he likes it. The next week, Daniel called at midnight because his flight was delayed and he needed an airport ride. I actually smiled when I told him, sorry, early morning, can't do it. The silence on the other end lasted so long I thought he'd hung up. What morning thing stops you from helping tonight? Just busy, I said. He hung up without saying goodbye and I could tell he was pissed. 2 days later, he called again because he needed me to let a plumber into his apartment. Busy that day, I said. His voice got tight with frustration. What are you even doing? Just busy. You know how it is. I was throwing his exact words back at him and it felt amazing. Another few days passed and his dog got sick. He needed someone for the vet while he was stuck in a meeting. I was scrolling through my phone while telling him, I have plans. But you love dogs, he said, sounding genuinely confused. I do, but I'm busy. After 3 weeks of this, he was losing it. He told our mom I was being cruel and she called me worried. He started texting at 3 in the morning thinking he'd catch me off guard. Then Sunday, he actually drove to my house. I watched through the blinds as he rang the doorbell over and over. He stood on my porch, calling my name like I was home and just ignoring him, which I was. He sat in my driveway for 20 minutes staring at my car. I knew the real test was coming soon. Everything exploded at Mom's birthday dinner. Daniel went to his car after we ate, and 5 minutes later, he rushed back with his keys dangling. His car wouldn't start, and he needed a jump. Everyone started getting up to help, but I stayed seated scrolling my phone like I hadn't heard him. The couple at the next table was watching now. Daniel looked right at me. You coming? No, I have plans after this. His mouth actually dropped open. It's Mom's birthday. How do you have plans? I put my phone down and looked him straight in the eyes. Same way you had plans during my daughter's recital last month that you promised to attend. She kept looking at the door waiting for Uncle Daniel. Same way you were busy when my basement flooded and I carried ruined furniture up the stairs alone. Same way you couldn't help when my car broke down in January. The entire restaurant had gone silent. Mom froze with her fork halfway to her mouth. Our sister had her hand over her mouth trying not to laugh. Other diners were straight up staring at us. Daniel's face went red. That's different, he stammered. How exactly? Because this is an emergency right now. My car dying in winter was an emergency right then. My basement flooding was an emergency right then. You were busy right then every single time. The silence stretched out forever. Our cousin finally grabbed his keys. I'll help you, Daniel. Daniel's voice got low and angry. You're doing this for revenge. No, I'm doing this so you understand my time matters too. Daniel called everyone after dinner saying I was petty and cruel. Our sister reminded him about her wedding setup he skipped for concert tickets. Mom brought up her colonoscopy when she had to take an expensive taxi. Dad mentioned the garage door he'd been promising to fix for 6 months. The group chat went completely silent after that. 2 weeks passed without a word from Daniel. Then he texted about helping him move next month with 3 different dates to choose from. I figured nothing had changed. I replied busy all 3 days. The typing bubbles appeared and disappeared. What about the weekend after? Also busy. He said he'd just hire movers. 5 minutes later, I texted him. My babysitter just canceled for Saturday. You free to watch my daughter? I watched those typing bubbles dance on my screen for the longest time. Finally, 2 words appeared. What time?